With you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, coming to you from the venue that hosted the Super Bowl back in February of '06. Welcome to Ford Field in downtown Detroit. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions. The first game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead. And we're off in week 2. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team to wins.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. First down Lions on a pickup of 13. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Off play action. Lawrence. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Kentrell Brothers came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. Throwing on 3rd and long. Lawrence. That's to his running back, Kerryon Johnson. Certainly not what they wanted there. No gain, and it's 4th down.
Pass complete, but no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats, throwing the ball.
Get a completion.
You get a catch.
Yeah.
But still, no yardage. Okay. That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. And now out comes Minnesota.
Let's make these babies. There you go, 48. Let's make these babies crawl the way back.
Back near the goal line, Cousins. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And he'll take this one up to about the 6-yard line. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Cousins. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. Ooh, with a juke. There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. And Detroit getting set to go now. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. From the gun, Lawrence. A good throw here, finding Pascal. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. Out of his end zone, Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And they're going to get this all the way out past the 20. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage. Now they can breathe a little easier, some room to operate as they've got it 1st and 10 now out past the 20. Cousins gives way to Cook. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 12 yards there, 1st down Vikings. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far.
Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick.
Pick 6, baby. Let's get this all day.
If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
And he'll run straight into a wall of tacklers at the line of scrimmage. It's 2nd down. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Lawrence.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Anthony Barr, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. A tale of 2 extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, and it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Oh, he shifts past him. 47 yards on the punt that time, just 1 yard on the return. And the Lions will take over. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet, trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Now Johnson. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Looking to throw. Lawrence. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Harrison Smith on the safety blitz, able to get the sack.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. A first down throw for Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After 7-0 on EA Sports. First down, here's Cousins. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's a give to Cook. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. On 3rd down, Cousins. It's caught by Treadwell. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry, ball gets tipped in the air. Because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense. It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
3rd and goal for Cousins. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the 1st. A good drive gets him inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Off the play fake, Lawrence. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Galladay. races down the right side. Touchdown, Detroit. Kenny Galladay, 76 yards, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Maybe that is the boost that this offense needed.
They did nothing the entire half, but out of the blue comes this big shot here. You're exactly right. Like a dunk in basketball, like a home run in baseball, maybe a solo shot. Sometimes you need that big play to get things ignited.
So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Kirk Cousins and the Vikings offense back on the field. I'm sure he wanted to have a huge game, wants to have a huge game as the quarterback, but really on the ground, they've been very, very hard to stop. Maybe you just keep going to that well.
I think so, and isn't it funny how the definition of balance changes for us from game to game? Sometimes it's 50-50, run it, throw it. Sometimes it's just being a balanced running team in terms of who's carrying the football.
More than one guy.
Right, multiple guys out there, and now your guy back there has to throw it. Don't have to worry about it quite as much.
And they've got the lead here in the second quarter. Second and 5 now. Cousins. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
No gain on the screen there at second down. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's second and 10. To throw, Cousins. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there. Getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Now Cousins looking for the end zone, and that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
And I feel like my man, Old Mo, momentum might be changing jerseys right now. How about what they just got done? They scored a touchdown their last drive. Now here's a 3 and out. Maybe momentum's getting ready to creep to the other sideline.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Come on, man. Let's go.
Back onto the field comes the offense. Let's take a closer look at Kerryon Johnson. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. Here's a 2nd and 7. Complete to Jones. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 7 yards there and a first down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this second week of the regular season. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. A little too aggressive defensively, and the flag comes out.
And no one trying to cover is going to like a call going against them, but you have to like the effort there. Went for the interception, just unable to get it, and the flag did come out.
On 1st and 10, Lawrence. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. He's at the 40, past the 20. Touchdown, Detroit. T.J. Hockenson, 77 yards, as his guys can now take the lead with the extra point. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call, but he got him, took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
They'll be going for 6. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. They'll run on first down. Boom. He was brought down by Devon Kennard.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Here's Cousins. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now, I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
And this will get inside the 20 and be touchdown just outside of the 15-yard line. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. 2nd and 15. And he coughs up the football near his own goal line. And this belongs to the Vikings.
What part do they went empty set there? No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll try to run this one in, and this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here, and that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs, as the first half is winding down, and the Vikings are going to retake the lead.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, It's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Are you looking forward?
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Back onto the field comes the offense. Let's take a closer look at Kerryon Johnson. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense has done a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get...
Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. So here are the Vikings to take over. They're in the driver's seat right now, and they were winners last week over the Seattle Seahawks, so trying to keep that momentum moving in the positive direction. On 1st and 10, Cousins. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just second down. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. To throw is Cousins. It's complete to Diggs. 12 yards there. First down, Vikings.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Rudolph on the receiving end from Cousins. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. On second down, this is Madison. Good cover defensively as they get to him just beyond the 45 after the juke.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. 2 yards and able to get the first down in the process. Cousins on first down. And Rudolph has it left side. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards. Throwing. Cousins. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. We'll check on his status when we get back. Cousins now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Cousins. And Diggs has it. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
On the run, Abdullah. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. On 2nd and 1, Cousins. He completes it to Abdullah. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Running for the first time with the fullback, C.J. Ham. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal.
Now that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball. You really don't want to be in a position where it's a one-on-one tackle with him.
On second down now. Boom. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Mike Boone, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice two-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They trail offense first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. There he goes, right side.
Holding offense.
You need your wide receivers as blockers. Sometimes they get a hold.
The big runs are often a result of what they do on the perimeter. In this case, got caught holding, and this one will come back.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Yeldon. Limited running room as he'll get about 3 to the 21. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Back to throw. Lawrence. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Ben Gideon in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Kirk Cousins now gearing up to lead this offense back out there. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the third quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your quarter? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 12 yards there, first down Vikings. Well, CD, a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen. His second touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. So the quarterback drops to throw, looks over, and boom, a guy that wide open. He has to be thinking, wait a minute, this is some kind of a dream. This is too easy.
Yeah, a great dream. One you don't want to wake up from. But for the defense, almost feels like there was a bust in coverage.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Lions now. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. That one, 28 yards on the ground.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Hasn't had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
From the gun, a run for Johnson. And yet again, he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Great job by this Vikings defense. Back now at Ford Field. It's the Lions trailing, but with possession of the football as we get set to bring you the fourth quarter. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing it.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely.
Wide. Mike 56, Mike 56. Hey, zoom.
Cousins now after the fumble recovery. Lets it fly for Thielen. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete.
You got it. You got it.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
A 2nd down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. A first down for Minnesota. Cousins finding Thielen. From the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10.
Go.
On first down. Boom. And Justin Coleman brings him down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
They'll run again. This time it's Abdullah. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Now Cousins on 4th down. Throw left side on target to Thielen. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
We got 3. He's coming. We got double up. Switch. Line out. Move.
Now a give, right side. Boom. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple, down to the 15-yard line.
That's it, baby.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes You got to cover some ground to go make the plays we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to pull one over his head as this game progresses.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Fairly short kick, taking it to 14 here. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
That, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
On first down, Lawrence. That's into the hands of Pascal. That's good for 28 yards.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Throwing on first down, Lawrence. Now the ball comes loose, and the Vikings pick up the football. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the fourth, it doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help them improve.
That's a gain of 4 as we slip inside of 4 minutes left in regulation. Again, they're going to go with Boone. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. 12 yards there, first down Vikings.
Well, I don't think there's any question, Brandon, at this stage, the stop troops, the defensive guys, they've got to use their 3 timeouts here. They've got to stop them and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're in that 2 to 3 score deficit window that they're in now, you got to get it ASAP.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Stop them, use your timeouts. Easier to move the ball on offense without timeouts than to stop them on defense without using them.
2nd and 5 now. Cousins. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well. 2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10.
Check curls, check curls, check curls. Rose. All right, now we got it.
Here's Abdullah running right.
Undercut.
And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. Benardrick McKinney there to make the stop. 2nd and 5 now. Cousins. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Duvon Kennard. Able to get in there and run him down for what's going to be a loss of 15 yards all told. And that'll be marked down as their first sack of the game.
Well, they had 6 last week, and this offense did its homework, didn't it? Because they saw all that pressure, and they really worked.
Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Blake Martinez. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On the ground, this is Johnson. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. 2nd and 14. He completes it to Jones. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 23 yards the pickup there. Looking to throw. Lawrence. This is caught. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Now they got to get to the line quickly. They'll run it with Johnson. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up second and goal. Second and 2. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Anthony Barr in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Back to throw. Lawrence. Anthony Barr in there to make the sack on what will be the final act in this ball game. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it. And they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.
So for Minnesota, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Washington Redskins. Meanwhile, for Detroit, they'll drop to 0-2, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.